Hey, what's up, Gromies? Welcome to the 8x8 series. I'm excited to bring you guys new, exciting content here. We got the 8x8 sponsored by AC Infinity. We just added something new. We got the gimbal in here now. I don't have a cameraman. My wife's way too busy to be down here. But now we're on a moving system. So if I move, this is gonna move. We can juke it. It's coming with us. Oh, hey. So that's cool. I'm excited. Technology is amazing. I just want to keep giving you guys more content, better ideas, show you how I'm doing it. So if you want to make content, you can yourself. So what we have in here right now is the tray to grow from Autopot USA. They reached out to me, huge fans of theirs, huge fan of mine. So we wanted to collab and get this in the garden. So this is a bottom feeding wicking system that'll read, the water will go through this reservoir into a pump. It's gonna wick up into the roots. So this can be a fully automated system with the right soil. So we recommend 15 gallons of soil when you're running no-till organic garden. So you know I'm a huge fan of no-till or low-till. So this is 24-gallon bed. We're gonna be able to build it up probably close to 28 gallons, 30 gallons after a few grows in it. So I left the soil low. I got the 12 seed cover crop in there with some mulch on top, and it's gonna crush. We're just gonna fill the reservoir. It's gonna water itself on its own. We're not going to be doing any re-amending. The only thing we're going to do is some defoliation, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process, stay up to date on it so you guys can see how it's going. It's my first time using it. I did my own research on it. I've seen other successful grows on it, so we're going to try and see. We may fail miserably, but that's my favorite part, is bringing you guys live, real content. There's no gimmicks, there's no secrets. What you see is what you get with me. So why we're here, what the main reason is, we got some serious training to do. We've been slacking. We've been on the road for work. We were on the road for Colorado days, going back on the road for work next week. So we got 2 days in here to be able to get this garden back up to date, spend some time with the family. So as you know, things get crazy busy. So I recommend using these bud clips. These are such a game changer. It's just a simple design that'll bend over your branches, and I'll show you here in a little bit. If you haven't watched my past episodes, you know I'm a huge fan of these bud clips and the bud cups. These are for replacing your solo cups. You can push up on the bottom, see your roots, decide when you want to transplant. So in this bed, my good buddy Crop Culture Chris, these are the Peyote Glue skies. He bred them himself. It's got a lot of potential. These are known to be good scroggers. So I picked my 2 favorite females out of the bunch. We got 2 males that we're keeping to keep some pollen, that we might do some pollen chucking in the future. So this is a re-amended bed. This is going on its 5th cycle, full of biology, full of moisture, full of activity in here. So I have no doubt that these PGSs are gonna crush. So I'm very excited to bring you guys the new content, the new gimbal. You know, it's gonna be moving around with us. So without further ado, let's go ahead. We're gonna jump in. We're gonna train these Peyote Glue skies, and then we're gonna jump over to the 3x3 tent, and we're gonna be doing some training on the James Loud Permanent Midnight in the 30-gallon pot. So stay tuned, Gromies. Let's do a little training together, and I hope you keep watching because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. All right, time for the training sesh, Gromies. The Peyote Glue skies here, like we talked about, from my main man, Crop Culture. If you watched the videos before, these were a little underfed, a little underwatered. They were in 1-gallon pots. We were waiting for them to sext. That can be one of the downsides of the beds, is you want to make sure you're planting females in here, because you don't want to get your plant spacing and then come to find out one's a male and you got to tear it out of the bed. So we wanted to make sure these are females. We had a little scare with the timer, but turns out everything's all good. They're still on their veg. So we're trying to create this new apex in here. As you can see, we got a pretty even canopy, but we're gonna bring these all down, spread this thing out, allow more lower branches to pop up, and that's how we get these big scrogs. If you've watched the Seedsman Saturday and my grows on Instagram, that's just what I like to do, is get the best yield out of least amount of plants as possible. So I talked about these bud clips. That's all we're gonna do here. They just got a round part here that you'll put behind the plant, bend it down, and you can go as low as you want. Just be careful sometimes, because you don't want to break these. If you got to pull some fan leaves to make it work where you want to go, there's no problem at all. So we're taking this here and bending it down, and you'll be able to see more of the process as it goes, as we start to bend these down. Taking a fan leaf off, coming in here, bending her down. There we go. Bring these back here. And like, if you have to, Give it a little bounce press where you think you're gonna bend these. Pulling these fan leaves out of the way. The node stretching is pretty long on this as far as the beginning growth. On this one, the nodes were a little tighter spaced. This one's a little more elongated, a little more room. Makes it easier to train these. Not so sure if it's good for stacking purposes, but it's so early for these to tell. And like I said, they were underfed, they were underwatered, so they're not on perfect health right now. But getting them in this bed's really gonna help. Take your time, bending that down. And that's why you want to get a bunch of these. 20 packs, like 20 bucks maybe. Use Canopy and save you 10% off on top of that. It's a real simple method. You get the gist of it. We're just trying to get this apex to where everything's on the same level. Because once you bend these out, there's a new apex on this branch here. Bring this guy down here. And this one's actually training. The branches are really malleable. They bend really easy, which is really good when it comes to training. And something I look for when it comes to cultivars is I'm a huge trainer. So if they like being trained and they don't snap on you, that's a keeper for me. So you can start taking lists of these phenos if you want to start breeding for your own seeds. Is just take notes of this. So if they're a hard trainer, write that down. If they are stretchers or they got bigger elongated nodes, write it down, take notes. Good note keeping is the best way to ensure what you're doing is covered by facts. You don't want to just be in here and be like, I think that I did that. I think I did, a certain thing to, you want to have a good reason for why you're doing something. You don't just want to say, oh, yep, that worked. I'm just going to keep doing that when you don't know if it actually worked or not. Use some backing to it. Take your notes. I know I kind of mumbled there. There's so many different variations when it comes to picking what you want to grow. But for me, training is one of them. So this is the main stock here that we've trained down with the bud clips as well. So we're going to make sure to bring that down a little bit more than the others. So you can see we're spreading that out. It's real simple, guys. This is a really, really cool method to be able to make training a lot easier. Oops. So let's go ahead and let's bring this one over here. And that's when you can start shaping these too. So I could bend this way, but I'm going to bring it over here because there's a little less action going on over here. So we'll bring that over here. Oops. Some of them may be a little too thin to catch this clip and they'll want to slide out. If that's the case, just bend them down. Don't super crop them. You don't need to snap anything. Just bend them down. Give them a couple days to thicken up on their branch, and then you can tie them down. So this is looking really good. Really excited about these Peyote Glue skies. Like I said, Chris is a really good friend of mine. We've got to go to a couple events together. He's an award-winning breeder, so I know that these are going to crush it. I've seen them grown by El Connoisseur. If you follow him on Instagram, go check him out. He's got a really good relationship with crop culture, so he's growing his fire as well. So that's it. That one's trained down. You can see this one we didn't put a clip on. Like I said, just bend it down, and in the next coming days, you'll be able to train a little bit more. So these are a little bit thinner branching. They're still very young, so they might try to fall off on you. That's okay. Just give them a couple days, bend them down. It'll eventually be able to put a bud clip on it. So we'll just go ahead, same thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward you through this one because it's the same concept. Get the idea. Go check out these bud clips. And then after this video, we'll go jump in that James Loud. It is a jungle in there. We got cover crop blowing up higher than the plant. So you want to stick around to see this. So we thought I was going to fast forward you. I tricked you because this one I'm not actually going to put a bunch on. We just wanted to get that top collar tied down. Everything else is pretty even and spaced out. So we're going to give these a couple more days. I'm pushing on them a little bit because they're so young. They're going to bend down, as you can see. So we just flatten that canopy out. They're going to pop up the next day. No big deal. You can see that these are starting to fall off here. Like I said, you can fight with them, try to get them to stay on there, or you can just give them a little bit more time. and wait a little bit for the branches to thicken up to make it a little bit easier. Yeah, this is, which could have waited a day or two more, but like I said, I'm going on the road for a week, so I want to get these established to where they're bent down and we're keeping this top canopy. I'm a huge advocate of it because when you come into flower and you got one taller than the other, it's going to be hard to dial in your lights to get the most PPFD out of your tent or par. So let's go ahead, let's go check out that James Loud in the 30 gallon and you can see what kind of jungle we got going on in there. I figured I'd walk you to the next tent. Just walked out of the 8x8 here. We got the Peyote Skittles. Check out Seedsman Saturday, just put a new video out. And then last but not least, let's check out the jungle. Let's defoliate this. Let's do some training. All right, Gromies, welcome to the jungle. As you can see, the white Dutch clover is growing up. We got the grasses in here, the clover, and then we got the permanent midnight in here, just doing its thing. So you could see this cover crop is falling over. It's so top heavy. I love this. It's a little bit too much for me, but I'm leaving it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna just push these out of the way a little bit, allow us to get in here, do some training. You can see the health on these girls is incredible. They had a slow start, maybe some transplant shock. Like I said, we did the same thing with the Peyote Glue skies. We had a little bit of trouble keeping up on the moisture because I was gone for 3 weeks at a time, home only on the weekends. So we're in here now though. Everything's happy, healthy. That's why I love organic gardening, because I took 3 weeks off from the garden, still was able to make you guys some content, do a little bit here and there. But as far as training, we did none, but that's all right. There's so much water through these branches with the moisture being on point that these are just gonna bend down so easy. You can see I'm bending them down. So I'm just gonna go in here, pull off some of these inner leaves, maybe push down some of this cover crop here. This is so cool though, guys. I mean, how can you not like to grow in this? I mean, this is flowers and grass. I mean, it's like we're outdoors almost, you know, and that's what's so fun to me, is just, you know, playing in the jungle. So this permanent midnight has just gone to a whole nother level. I never would have expected these girls to be so happy. 2, 4, 6. Oh, we already got 9 leaflets, everybody. This is really cool. The sign of leaflets can always be a measure of health. Not always in cases, but I don't think it's a bad thing to see a nice healthy green 9-pointed leaf. So we're going to be looking for some 11s here. And as you can see how when I'm defoliating, I'm not just going after one leaf, pulling it off and gently gumming out. I'm coming in here and I'm moving stuff around. These girls can take it. With the health and the vigor of all the right nutrients and minerals and the biology in the soil, these girls can withstand anything. They could withstand storms, everything. I mean, they came from outdoors and we made it an indoor thing. And I think we're losing track of that aspect of it. Is we took an outdoor thing, we brought it indoor, and now we're adding all of these synthetic nutrients and small pots and just different things that just doesn't make sense to me when it comes to gardening. It's supposed to be big bodies of soil, worms, and just the fun of all the greens and the flowers and everything. Is just something so exhilarating about being a part of this organic lifestyle. I really want you guys to try it. Even if you grow synthetic too, just try one organic run. Use some Build-A-Soil. You don't have to use Build-A-Soil. I mean, look at the health on these girls. Very, very healthy. And like I said, just try it once. I promise you won't regret it. You'll probably go full organic. I promise you. Spend a little more money up front maybe, but in the long haul, I haven't bought any soil other than the new Trader Grow in 2 years. 2 years I've been using the same soils and just re-amending it, doing your own research. And that's all at the end of the day, is doing some good research. So we got our bud clips again. I think we're to that point. Like I said, while we're going through here, I was moving stuff around, just letting them know that I'm here. You know, I'm not going to do no damage, sweetie. I'm just going to give you a little love, give you a little good fresh air, let some of your young bucks grow up bigger than these tall suckers here. So, like we just did with the crop cultures, if you have to move a leaf out of your way to make it work, that's okay. See, this one's not one to bend. I could force it and I probably would snap this, which actually, before I do that, I don't know if you can see down in here this blue tape. I snapped this head here. caught her. It was holding on by a shred. Put it back together, taped it up with just some blue masking tape, and it lived. As you can see, this is her right here. She's happy. She's got 9 leaflets, full of health, full of vigor. We won't train that one down. We're going to give her some more time. It's only been a couple of weeks. But the same thing could happen here. This one's not wanting to go. And I could bust this on camera here, and I wouldn't lie to you guys. But I'm taking my time. I'm bending it down. And then I'm going after it. And that's why when you're defoliating, kind of just going here as you're pulling a leaf here, but you also know that you're going to bend this one down. Give it a little push while you come through. Bend it down a little, play with it a little bit. It's not going to hurt them. Don't super crop it. Don't break the cell membrane inside there. Just bend them down. Like this one here. This one's sturdy. This is going to need some work here. So I'm bending it down both ways. You don't have to bend it just the way you want. You want it to be able to rotate, move it around. Don't squish it yet. I don't think we're at a point of super cropping. I'm a huge advocate of super crop, but at the right times. We don't need to slow down any growth right now. We are more than happy to bend this down, and these offshoots are going to kick up. But if you're running out of time, like late in bed, you're trying to flip the flower, that's when super cropping comes in handy, because you want to give this top, let it know that it's crunched. You broke its cell membrane. It's going to create this knot here. Why it's creating this knot, it's going to allow this undernode to grow up because the nutrients can't flow through this hollow stem. This is my way of thinking. That's actually, I have no backing on if that actually works. I'm actually going to dig into that and we'll fact check it. But that's just my way of thinking when it comes to super crop. Don't have to do it. I highly recommend it in cases that you need to. But so you see, we've been bending this one down. She was ready. Before, if I would have just gone right into that from jumping in this tent, this would have snapped. I guarantee that. So this one's right here is a little young and it's not too much taller. So I'm just going to give it just a little bend. Bring it down. See, it's the same level. It's going to pop back up, but it's also going to grow. This branch is going to be thicker because you can see this branch to this branch are 2 different sizes. So this one's going to catch and be able to train a lot easier. This one, like you said, I'll show you real quick. I could train this right here. You know what? I'm going to leave it, actually. I thought it was going to pull it lower. What you don't want to do is train something to get it lower than the next one. You want it to be even. Nothing lower, nothing higher. Keep it even. So I'm liking the way this one's look. You can see it's already bent down from me playing in here. She's already ready for my clip. So I take this in here, nice and slow. And she could use a little more bend. Oh, yep, see, there it went right there. So we just broke this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull this node off here because it's going to get in the way. I'm going to jump over and get some tape. I already knew it was going to happen. So I could leave this. It would become a top. But I'm going to try to save it just to show you guys that it can work. And when it proves right there, when you're training these, take your time. I didn't take my time. I assumed that branch was ready and we broke her. So taping this around here. And now pinch it a little bit where that break was and then take it the opposite way the break was. So this is wanting to fall down this way because I broke it and it's holding on by a thread that way. So I want to, oop, man, this is not good, peeps. This is not good. We might botch this, but that's okay. Ooh, yeah. This isn't good. We're gonna still play doctor on this, just for the fun, just for the camera. We're gonna see if we can get this sucker to, ooh, pulled it completely off. I don't know, everybody. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can connect this bad boy. Pull this fan leaf out of the way. That's a bummer, but it's not a big deal. Probably should get some new tape. Hold on real quick. We're gonna get this. Couldn't be helped right at the nodes. So there's no way it's gonna work. I don't know, folks. But we're gonna see. If it doesn't, no big deal. This plant's gonna explode. It's not the end of the world, but I just want to play doctor for you real quick, see if we can make this work. You can see we broke it completely off. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, try to get it to stand up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we'll lean her up on this one here. All right, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it alone. Well, we're gonna end you there, Gromies. But you can see, while we were doing is trying to get this same apex, you can see I took the more time on these branches. This one I hurried through and we snapped it, try to fix it. Like I said, if not, no big deal. This is gonna explode. And you see we got all the cover crop. This is the 12 seed cover crop from Build a Soil. Huge advocate of Build a Soil. Code Cantaloupe could get you a discount off all over there. And stay tuned, Grow Moves. We got a lot more, and thanks for following along.